Greetings, fellow Poltermasters. Greetings, fellow Poltermasters. I'm Crash Rowsell, and it's once again time to crash the Skylands with the debut episode, and I mean debut in a little bit of a way, I'll explain now in a second, of Discuss the Skylands. Thank you so much for tuning into episode 1 of this series. I deleted the original episode by accident. So, you're going to notice a trend for the next few episodes, all the way up to the finale, where they're all filmed in the same kind of exact setting, with the same lighting. I just changed my shirt in between, but this one here is completely different from the episode 0 and episode 2. I recorded a bunch of stuff in one big bulk sitting, and I just took the videos today and switched them over to the correct thing, and I somehow mixed up Heroic Mondays that just started, episode 1, with this one, but I kept both Heroic Monday episodes somehow, and got rid of this one. So that's why it looks a little different. That's why behind me it says Top 5 instead of Discuss the Skylands, because basically I need to get this video done now because I'm in the middle of editing. And yeah, so we're going to redo this episode, and I'm going to discuss with you my favorite figure hunt. And then for the rest of the series, it's going to be a lot more straightforward and a lot easier to go with. So this is a very improv one of me, because I'm going to try to remember what happened during the whole thing. So, my favorite figure hunt is a reason why one Skylander is one of my favorite Skylanders of all time, with Doomstone. So, when Doomstone was finally on its way to get released, he was the last Skylander I needed for Skylanders Swap Force. I had every other swapper at the time except for Doomstone, so when you used to go to the screen where it showed your swappable combinations, there was one line, and it was Doomstone. I need to get all of his abilities and all that, and I said, you know what? This is when I started taking the game more seriously and started actually collecting Skylanders, so I knew I needed this Skylander. I watched a couple of videos of him, I seen pictures of him, and I said, you know what? I need him. I gotta get him. I have to complete this collection, and I mean, it kind of launched my collection in total. The big thing is that I looked at everything that happened to lead me up to finding him, and there's no brainer why this is my favorite figure hunt. The first big thing was I was so serious about this, I put a post on Facebook for my family and friends saying, if you see this Skylander, let me know or buy him from me and I'll pay you back. I need this Skylander more than I need to breathe. Every time I went to my local EB Games, I used to tell them I needed this Skylander. Everyone there knew that. It was funny that EB Games actually closed now. I think I mentioned that in the video, so I'll just mention again that EB Games is closed down now. But I used to go to that one. They all knew that I was looking for this one Skylander. So basically, if it showed up, they'd put it off to the side. I knew that for a fact type thing. It was very obvious I needed this Skylander, and I needed it so bad. So every time I'd go to the EB Games, I'd swing by and take a look and all that. And then it happened. I went to EB Games one day to pre-order a game. I think it might have been Resident Evil 6 to be hilarious. Haha. Looking back at that now, I think it was Resident Evil 6. No, I had Resident Evil 6 at another time, so it was definitely another game. I went to go pre-order it, and I went and got in the lineup just to go and pre-order the game. I never even thought about checking for Skylanders. I was like, maybe I'll do that after or something, you know? So I get in the lineup and I start going up to the front, and I happen to glance over at the Skylander wall because, of course, I'm just going to take a look at it. I would even do that now if they still have Skylander walls. And I look over, and he's right there, just hanging up on the wall. Doomstone, the Skylander that I've been hunting for months. So, of course, I politely excuse myself from the line, grab it, go back into the lineup, and I'm standing there screaming internally because not a single person in that store, even the employees at the time, knew that this was a Skylander that I've been wanting for months. The person up front was not one of the employees I was speaking to before, talking about how much I needed this Skylander, so I couldn't show my visible joy when I went to the front and said, oh, I'd like to set up a pre-order for a game, I'm also going to get this figure too. And they were like, oh, okay, cool, we just got them in. And I'm just like, I know you did! I know you got those in! I've been here every single day! But no, it was more like, oh, nice! Completely calm, completely, completely calm, cool, and collected. So yeah. I got to the front, I set up my pre-order, I got my Skylander, I headed home, and that night, Doomstone got to level 20. because I went home that night and completely played with him from beginning to end, all the way from level 1 to 20. I did all the levels with him, I played all of his moves, I learned how to master that Skylander within less than 24 hours, and the next day, that line in the line was gone because I sat there swapping out all the figurines until it was done. And it was the most successful thing of my life. Doomstone was the most overhyped Skylander for me, that lived up to the hype. Now, there's other overhyped Skylanders that didn't live up to the hype, in my opinion, but nothing will compare to Doomstone and how overhyped he was because he was the final Skylander in the collection I needed, and I got him. And it sucks that I couldn't express that joy with everyone there. I mean, I could have, but I would have been that weirdo. I was like 24 at the time. I know, right? And I was like, it's a Skylander! This day and age, if I were to get that, I would have popped on my YouTube channel and showed it off like I did with Dark Wildfire way back when. But yeah, pretty obvious that it was probably the best figure hunt I've ever had because I was hunting for him for months. And then finally got him when I randomly went to the store to do something else. It just shows when you give up, you'll finally get what you want. Don't listen to that advice. That's terrible advice, as my dog snores on the floor. So thank you so much for watching this episode. I just realized I don't know what the next episode of this is supposed to be, so don't mind me just leaning up here. How's it going? Again, did this completely out of the way. Ah, that's the next episode. Okay, so at the end of each episode of Discuss the Skylands, I'm going to be giving you a heads up about next week's episode. So, next week's episode is going to be my favorite boss fight, which is pretty interesting. But for you guys, I want you to leave a comment below. The main thing about Discuss the Skylands is I want you guys to be able to respond to me, leave comments about your favorite figure hunt. Tell me if you have a story exactly like Doomstone. You've been hunting them for months or even years for certain Skylanders. Like me, it took me 3 years to get Dark Wildfire, but I didn't hunt for him as much as I did with Doomstone. So let me know in the comments below your favorite figure hunt, and come back next week for discussing favorite boss fights. But as always, I bid you farewell. In Future Crash, if you delete this video, I'm going to delete the entire channel. Farewell.